What's up everybody, Krista here again, back with another little video. Obviously with the current situation, with the whole COVID-19 thing, everywhere going into lockdown, we have to stay home for up to 4 weeks, or at least 4 weeks. I figured I may as well try and chip into some of the projects. I have been trying to look into possibly making a start on the Chev because it needs some chassis work. So I had a quick look over now, and I'm just going to jack it up, put it on the blocks I usually have the E30 setting on. Just so I can get underneath it a bit easier because it is quite low, and just going to jack it up, have a look, and just how hard it will be to actually just jack it up, jack the body up, disconnect everything, and then roll the chassis out, because it's got a little bit of, it's only like light surface rust, but I'd just like to be able to get the chassis out, do the C-notch work for the cert, and then also sand back, prime and paint the whole chassis, because I need to rechange all the front suspension bushes and everything anyway. I'll have a look at just how hard it will be to take the body off.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Alrighty people, so after much deliberation, I sort of almost talked myself out of it. I was umming and ahhing about whether to take the chassis out from under the truck. I just thought, I'm just going to bite the bullet and do it.
Yeah, sure. Why not? That'd be great. Yeah, I'd love that.
I've got plenty of time up my sleeve because we're in lockdown, so I'm going to, because the rest of the truck's in like real mint condition, and the chassis has got like a little bit of surface rust, nothing major, just from use really. I'm going to pull it out and just give it a big birthday. It does need some work, so most of the problem is just in the engine bay really. There's heaps of wiring and shit in there. From the engine bay back there's actually not much, there's only like 5 or 6 things. So the main thing is I'm going to start off by just getting all the grill and the front end apart, get the radiator out because I can't drop the chassis far enough or lift the body high enough to get the motor under the front, so I'll have to pull all the front radiator assembly out and everything. Leave the motor on the chassis, pretty much put it up on the blocks. The plan is to lift the body a bit more and then drop the chassis down out from underneath it and then roll it out. Sounds pretty easy when you say it like that. I'd say there'll probably be a few surprises along the way. It is getting pretty old now, the truck, so there might be a few parish connections and whatnot. So yeah, we'll hook into it, get this front apart first. Alrighty guys, so actually making pretty good progress so far. Tell you what, Chevy wasn't pissing about when they were making these bumpers. It held on with massive bolts, and heavy duty ass frames, these massive bolts here, here and here, and man they're heavy. The whole bumper's pretty heavy. No wonder these trucks end up being so heavy. But definitely making good progress. The grill was a bit tricky to get off too, but there's a few little hidden clips down the bottom. I haven't exactly pulled one of these apart before, so just winging it. I'm going to try and get as much of this off in one piece as I can. I'm going to try and just pull the wiring out, hopefully try and disconnect everything that's still attached to the motor or the chassis, drain the radiator, and get to all the, looks like I can get to all the mount bolts for the the whole like front core support, I think they call it, or like radiator support we call them, I think. Try and get it all unbolted and free without taking all the coolers and everything off. Just less chance of breaking fittings and everything, and then if I can get it all off in one, just chuck it in the shed. So hopefully we'll see what actually comes loose. Another thing I have noticed too is someone's put wired in these HID kits, which I don't think these ones are the legal ones in New Zealand. It's stupidly bright. It's like being on brights the whole time. And it has got dim and bright as well, and even the dims are just ridiculously bright. So I'm going to try and while I'm doing messing around with wiring, try and take all that out and go back to factory just to help with making the vinning easier. I'm going to take the truck back to as original as possible to re-vin it. So another little headache someone's been doing with it, but shouldn't be too bad to get it back to standard. Alright, I tell you what guys, I'm pretty stoked with the progress so far. So I just managed to disconnect all the wiring and just pull everything back through neatly and just get rid of that HID stuff. It's actually pretty simple, to be honest. Plenty of room and stuff, so that's pretty good. But I did feel a couple of spits starting to come, and it's getting a bit late now. It's not far off dinner. I've only actually been on it probably about 2.5 hours. So it's definitely not too bad of progress. I thought it was going to take ages because some of the screws and stuff looked a bit rusty, but everything came out pretty sweet. So I don't think that radiator's been given a birthday in a while. It's pretty rusty, it even stinks too. So I think I'm going to have to flush the motor a bit and just give it all a massive birthday. I think it has sat around a bit being neglected, so just going to have a bit of a clean up now, clean my bench up, sort my ute out, and hook back into it tomorrow. Hopefully it's sunny tomorrow, I don't know what it's doing tomorrow. But yeah, so that's the end of day one of the whole lockdown quarantine thing. So we'll see how far we can get in 4 weeks. I reckon we'll be able to get pretty far. So sweet as, and we'll see you tomorrow.